Hello, I am back from lunch and it appears that my internet has finally behaved itself. I'm sorry for the cutoff on that last video. If you're watching on YouTube, that cut off way before it was supposed to. And it said it was due to a bad internet connection. And then I had problems with YouTube. Then I had problems with Facebook. So I just went and ate lunch. And they're working on the internet in our area, so, I mean, that type of stuff is bound to happen. They're laying Google Fiber, so but I'm just going to pick up where I left off, coloring in these windows and finishing this part up. Still got a lot to go, but I'm super excited to finish this. I really want to see this done. I'm not one necessarily for putting in little touches at the end. I'm really bad about that. I get to the last pencil stroke and I'm like, oh, I'm done. I got to walk away. I can't deal with this anymore. I'm going to try not to do that with this picture. I want to get the last little bits in, make sure I have the glitter where I want the glitter, the highlights where I want the highlights, etc., etc. So I want to get all that done. Hopefully some people will join us on this live stream. If not, that's okay. I'm more than happy talking to myself. My husband ate the last of the boar's head rotisserie ever roast chicken. I'm so sad, so I couldn't have that for my lunch. So I wanted a chicken sandwich. But he put it on his salad and it's all gone. It's one of those splurge items. Boar's head meat is so delicious. Yummy and delicious. I've got a bunch of stuff going on this evening. I don't know when we'll get home to start dinner, but I'm just making fish sticks. Like, I'm not going nuts over it. My kids love fish sticks though, and eye itches. Oh, and just the little fillets, the fish fillets, not quite fish sticks, a little bit bigger. They love them. You know, just absolutely love them, which is nice. I remember as a kid, I hated it. Because I grew up Catholic, so, you know, during Lent, I ate fish on Fridays. I hated it. I hated it so much. And all we ever had was fish sticks. Like, it was never anything good. Which, you know, my mom did what she could with, you know, what we had. But it was just like, ugh. If I never have to eat another fish sticks, it'd be too soon. And then my daughter goes, I want fish sticks. Like, okay. So I found some that are like panko breaded and really like the 10 grain tilapia that you get at Costco. I don't have a Costco membership anymore. I hate the Costcos here. They're just so busy. And I had a weird experience. Sorry. After eating, I get a little phlegmy, so my throat, I gotta clear it. I had a weird experience at a Costco. There was this guy I was walking around with my youngest. No, I had both of them. It was both of them. And I was walking around and he stopped by because my youngest likes to sing at the top of her lungs everywhere we go. I don't begrudge her, you know. Costco's loud. There's a lot of people, so I don't feel like I have to shush her or anything. So she was singing. My youngest was asking a question, and this guy comes by, and he's like, oh, you have a beautiful voice. You know, and I say thank you, and she shies away, and I go on about my business. And check out, and we go to eat lunch. that's done. Let's see. I'm going to work on the grays up here, the French gray. So this is 70% French gray. So we go on about our business, and actually I need the 90% French gray for a little extra oomph here of shadow. When we pay, we get our food, you know, they're eating, and then he sits down at our table. The same guy who we saw earlier sits down at our table and starts talking to the girls, absolutely ignoring me. 100% ignoring me. So I text my husband. I'm like, this dude who came up to us in the middle of the store is now sitting at the table talking to the girls, ignoring me. I said, I'm going to send you his picture. Hang on to this. I just want you to know, I don't need you to come get me or anything, but I just want you aware that this is happening. And so I took a picture of him, and he kind of like, then he noticed me because I didn't turn off the shutter. I wanted him to know I was taking a picture of him. Because he was talking to my girls. He wasn't talking to me. He wasn't looking at me. And then he got real quiet. He didn't buy anything. Like, he had no food. He had no purchases. He had no cart. It was just creep factor times 100. And of course, I like kind of froze up. I didn't say anything. I didn't like push him along. The kids were kind of ignoring him. They weren't answering a whole lot of his questions, which good on them. But then the lady behind me kind of pipes up. She goes, "Oh, is that your grandpa?" And the girls go, "No, we don't know him." And then he kind of got up and laughed. So that was really scary. Thank God for that lady behind me. She was like, I heard him and saw him. She was like, it sounded kind of weird. I hope you don't mind. I said, no. Thank you. Thank you. So I then took the picture to customer service, and they're just like, well, what do you want us to do? It's like, well, first of all, I have a picture of him. You have picture membership cards. What do you think I want you to do? Dude had no purchases, fully ignored me, and was just all about my girls. So what do you think was happening? Well, we can't just assume. Like, whatever. So I won't go back to Costco. Like, I'm really pissed off. And that happened, like, last year. I had, like, just renewed my Costco membership, too. I was so mad. I was so unbelievably mad. And my husband, he's been kind of sheltered his whole life, so he didn't, like... I would tell him about these types of things that could happen. Because my girls, they're just... I mean, they're cute, and they're sweet, and they're nice, and they're smiley, and they're happy, and, you know, they're not really that shy, so they'll talk to everybody. And, you know, sometimes you get some weirdos. But my husband never believed me that was like a thing that could happen. Well, now he does. Thank God. See, I'm going to skip the 90%. I don't want it to go that dark. But still, it's just like... Yes, that totally is a thing. It was so creepy. I got home and called my mom. I was half in tears. I was like, this guy. And she didn't believe me either. How many people come up and talk to my girls. And I joke. I'm like, oh, I can't take them anywhere. And it's not quite a joke. I mean... It's very scary. Welcome back, Asher. Sorry about before. I had some internet trouble. They're working on the internet down here. They're trying to lay some fiber cable, so it's been going on and off all week. So I apologize for that, but I decided to let them do their work, and I went and got some lunch. So I am full and ready to finish working on this page. I'm so excited to get this done. I really like the Prismacolors in this paper. I should have gone with my gut and done Prismacolors, but I was like, no, I should use my Polychromos. I haven't really messed with them lately. So I should just go with my gut. That's the lesson. Go with your gut. I've been watching on and off the news about all the fires in California still. That's so scary. I couldn't even imagine. We had, there were fires in the mountains in North Carolina over the summer, or just around springtime, actually. It was a weird time of the year. But I could smell it. Like, we went outside and you could just smell the fires. It was really bad. I can't imagine. I've been watching them and they just look, it just looks so scary. Excuse me. I hope there's I would wish for absolutely no loss of life, but I know that's somewhat unrealistic. So I hope there's very little loss of life in these fires. I do hope that everybody gets to evacuate. And I saw a video of a guy saving a little bunny rabbit. Yep, Asher, always go with your gut. If your gut says do something, you should do it. I agree. The Prismacolors just feel so much better on this paper. I really should have just gone and done it, but you know. But knowing that, that means I can go and color more pictures out of here, so that's nice. It was a nice lesson to learn, I guess. So it's gonna be lots of little fiddly bits. I need to turn this just a touch. I try to work best where I'm not like killing myself with the angles that I'm trying to get at stuff. If you gotta turn it, you gotta turn it. See, I'm actually gonna, there's a little bit. And I may actually use a graphite pencil just because. Do I have a sharpened one here? I do. Just because of the color that the stuff is here, I think a graphite pencil is a little bit better. There we go. So I'm just taking the 90% French gray. I am not a person that goes by numbers. I go by colors. That's why I hate pencil sets that are just numbers. Because I can look at this and I go, oh yeah, those are my French grays. I don't have to look at the number. These are my French grays. This is a green. This is a green. I just know. I have no idea what the numbers on any of my pencils are. Except for some of the Derwents. Because not only are they in color order, they're in color number order, which is nice. So off to the 70%. And that all. So this is under or inset, I guess I should say. It's inset. The stuff that pops out here, that's going to be a cold gray. Or maybe even the warm gray. Maybe the warm gray. I don't necessarily want it to be too high contrast because then it would then take away a little bit of the focus, which is the door and the nutcrackers. I already worry that the black is too black. But it is what it is now, and I will work around or figure out how to change it if I need to. But for now, it's fine. I feel like there's a thing missing up there. I think it should come off the page here. Same here. It's like it didn't quite go to the edge of the page in some spots. Don't be afraid to, if it bothers you, fix it. The artist isn't gonna, the illustrator isn't gonna like snap your head off or anything. It's fine. Hi, Nakalia. Welcome to the live stream. There's been a couple of almost every book I've had to fix a line or something because it bugs me. May not bug other people, but it bugs me, and so I fix it, and it's no big deal. Or I add a line where I think one should be, or what have you. No biggie. I think I might have made the shadows a little too big here. That's okay. That's okay. It is okay. I've been twerking my my Christmas wish list for my husband. Tomorrow's payday, and I like to buy everything kind of like all at once and just be done. Except for like stocking stuffers or anything like that. Those I get last minute. But tomorrow is buy Christmas presents day. And so I've been tweaking my wish list. I added Holbeins. Not that he'll buy them. I mean, they're way too expensive, and I may never even get any. But I added them just so he can see kind of like, because he's a avid bike rider, so he's got some really expensive, though I guess in the scheme of that cyclist, they're not very expensive, but he's got some expensive bikes. He's got 2 bikes. He's got one gravel, one road. He's got a couple what he calls saddles, the seats. And then, yeah, he's got different tires, and he just got a new brake set, or no, not a new brake set. He just got a new gear set to help with hills here. So I mean, we're in a couple grand into his bikes. So I want with the Holbeins, I kind of want to show him that, you know, I can get a couple grand into coloring supplies too, because I put on the Luminance, I put on the Holbeins, and then the Albrecht-Dürers, the Faber-Castell Albrecht-Dürers, I put those on there just to kind of show that, you know, two can play that game. Because he put a couple bike things on there that were like $200 or $300. I'm like, you know, I'm not buying these, right? He goes, oh, I know. I just wanted you to see what we kind of have to save for. So I kind of flipped the tables on him a little bit. And he saw the Luminance, and he was like, really? I was like, yeah, I already have the Pablos, and they're about the same price. So I saved up quite a few months for those. I think it was like 4 months, 4 or 5 months. I saved up for those. So he was like, well, crap. Yeah. I like how the French gray looks. I'm glad I went with French gray. I'm really glad. It looks good. Man, coloring can get expensive. It really can. Not that I feel I need all this stuff, but I'm a collector. This is my problem. I'm a collector. I like to collect things. I get into a hobby, and I gotta have it all, right? I just want to collect it all. And so I'm at that. Now I need like the high-end stuff because I want to collect it. But I've tried the Luminance white. What I need to do is I need to get like an open stock couple of Luminance pencils that I think I might use a lot and need backups of anyway if I decide to go with it. Because the white reminds me of the Prismacolor. It's harder, but it's like the same opacity. Has the same type of effect. It's a little harder. Also, it doesn't fit in my Tagall. But it's hard to decide how much I like or dislike if I only use it in certain situations, you know. I need a couple that I can just color a thing. Welcome back, Aurora. I'm so sorry about earlier. My internet went funky. And it said I had no connection and cut me off. And then I couldn't do anything on my computer because the internet was down. So I went and had lunch. And now I'm back. I like this. I like the soft French gray of that. I think that looks good. Now I'm deciding whether to do the warm gray or the cool gray. Over here, I did cool grays. I'm not entirely sure I'm happy with the look of it. I mean, the cool gray down here, yeah, but I don't know. I'm gonna work on the pillar here. See, I'm gonna put down my 90%. Got a little dip right here where, so I got this book from, I think it was Book Depository. Yeah. And they come individual, and all my romantic countries have like weird, the corners of the books. Oh, are you talking like this? Do it like this? I don't mean to flip you off, I'm sorry. Does that make it look 3D then? Or do you think the warm grays? Oh yeah, I haven't done the background like on that side like I have on this side. I haven't done the backgrounds yet. I want to do another different gray here. Oh, you like that? Yeah, I figured it would be a little more overhang. I think I went a little too far with it, but it looks all right. I'm just gonna do this pillar. I'm having to like my arms up like this, so it's a little awkward. And I can't see my phone at the moment, so if I don't answer you right away, I apologize. I mean, there is a delay anyway, but you know. Is that 30? That's 30. No, I like how the background came out. I like it. It's kind of exactly what I was going for. I don't want it to pop, per se. But I don't want it to be dull either. Like, I want it to be interesting once your eye finally goes there. But I don't necessarily want to draw your eye there. Oh, you mean just leave the cream how it is instead of doing grays in there? That would be something. Just leave the cream of the paper. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I think it turned out pretty good. I like castles. I bought last year we had a castle calendar because my daughter, my oldest, she goes, Mommy, are castles real? And I'm like, yeah, castles are real. She goes, well, why aren't there any here? I was like, well, honey, America's too young to have castles. Like, then I had to go explain the relative age of other countries in comparison to the States and why they have castles and we don't. So that was interesting. So then I bought a calendar with castles on it. I have a friend out in Scotland who does reenactments. And he's looking to be a historian. He's going to school to be a historian. And I tried getting her to ask him about castles, but she froze up. And It was too funny. Are castles real? Why don't we have any? Trying to explain that the States is only 250-ish years old versus places like England that have, you know, been around since the Dark Ages, you know, before the Dark Ages, you know, it's been around forever. Trying to explain all that is pretty fun. This side is different from the other one. That threw me for a loop for a minute. Now, some people block in their light spots first. I tend to block in my shadows. Probably not the best idea. Sometimes I go a little overboard on them. But I find it very hard to block in the light first. Oh, I hate random sounds in an empty house. Oops. Every now and then my kids will put something in a precarious position on like their dresser or what have you. And then it falls in the middle of the day when nobody's upstairs and we are castle deprived, Aurora. I agree. Where's our dang castles? Actually, we got the plantations and we're going to DC for not for Christmas, for the Cherry Blossom Festival. We're going to take the Amtrak up to DC right around my mom's birthday, which her birthday is April 1st. I love it. So you always have to tell her, no, it's not a joke. Yes, this is your present. No, I'm serious. Oh, you block in the shadows first with your markers, Aurora? Isn't that how markers are supposed to? Maybe not. I don't know. I'm not very proficient in alcohol markers. I used to live in Arlington. Right after I was born, my dad was stationed there. And my mom said that my sitter, because she still worked at the time, would take me to the Arlington Cemetery. And I would just play in the cemetery. And I would play hide and seek or whatever. Oh, you use Copics? You lucky duck. I've got like a handful of Copics. I've got the skin tones, and then I picked out like a couple others. I got some chameleons, but I'm not really digging the chameleon markers. The colors are pretty, but I don't really dig like how to use them. And I have just cheaper alcohol markers. And let's see. Oh, I see what I did. I don't want to shadow this side too much. So I've been, every now and then I use them. I find that Prismacolors go over them pretty well. Especially, I like to use them in the Jasmine Beckett Griffith books. I have no idea where Sterling Park by Falls Church is. I couldn't have been more than 2 years old when we moved. So I had an aunt that lived, I think she lived in Arlington. I remember visiting her when I was a kid. I have pictures of us in DC, especially sitting on Albert Einstein's statue. I got pictures of that. Oh, was that the same area? Cool. Awesome. This was 1981, 82. Way back. I find it, so the advancement of our technology is such that I'm having a hard time explaining to my kids what I didn't have growing up. Like, I didn't have a cell phone. We didn't have cable until I was maybe 10 years old. New Mexico. That's a climate change. Holy cow. I want a little, grab the 90% here. Yeah, from DC area to New Mexico, that's quite the climate change. Was your family military also, or? Because that's why I moved. Teenager when we got, I don't remember when we got a microwave. I know we had one when we moved back to Ohio and I was 14. But like, I don't remember having one on base. I'm sure we did. It wasn't a significant. Oh, IBM. Holy cow. Wow, that's impressive. Sorry, I'm a little geeky here. That's really cool. Especially way back when. Like, that was like, you were innovating things. You were doing things in the 80s with computers that nobody even thought possible. Nice. Very cool, Aurora. My husband, when I met him, he was working with a contractor for the government for aircraft survivability. So there's a lot of stuff he can't tell me, but some really cool stuff. Fixing typewriters. That's so funny. My dad was a paralegal in the military, and then they got their first Commodore 64s, and he started learning how to work on computers. And then, you know, we had Commodore 64, we had the Packard Bell, those old computers. It's all about the Pentiums. But so much innovation just in our lifetime, Aurora. Just think of it. The innovations that have been made. It's mind-blowing. It really is. See, I'm just gonna block this in. I'm not really gonna shadow too much. I'll get 90% in there, but I'll just take the 70% and just kind of block this in here. Yeah, my daughter asked me what type of phone I had as a kid, and I said I had one that was attached to the wall, and she just like stared at me. I had to go Google a picture of a phone attached to the wall. Though my grandma, she still has the original phone from 1956 when she moved into the first house in her neighborhood, and she still has like it was like a 5-digit phone number or whatever, and it had numbers and letters. And it was one of those, you had to crank it, and then you had the separate earpiece that you had to unhook. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to do that. And the separate earpiece you had to unhook, and you had to talk into the thing. You had to dial an operator. It was so cool. It's so cool. She still has that hanging up in her dining room. But yeah, there's just so much. In such a short period of time. And I think that's a problem a lot of the older generation is having, is like the stuff that we're doing now is legit out of their sci-fi novels. The sci-fi stuff that they read growing up. I remember the rotary phones. That was the first phone we had, was a rotary. Oh, getting a cordless phone was amazing. Like, it was so cool. You just walk around anywhere. You weren't tied. You didn't have to like watch out for your parents listening into the phone. You just like go somewhere and talk, not have to worry about it. And party lines were a thing. That was fun. Man, I worry that's what a lot of our like our congressmen or representatives, they're of the generation where this stuff was barely thought of when they were kids, you know? And so it's so out there and so sci-fi and so different that they're afraid of it, and it's really harming. Your parents remember their phone number from way back? Nice. I know most of my old addresses. They're all about the same. The one before my mom moved in Ohio was 5162 Christie Avenue. There was 5221 Delaware Avenue. And they're all roughly the same. They all have 5 2s and 1s in them. It's very weird. I don't remember the one from Paris Island, though. All right. So let's actually, this looks like it's below. So we'll do a nice little shadow. Yeah, the good old days. Yeah, the transporter. I'm sure Elon Musk or somebody is working on a transporter too. I would really like to see us put somebody on Mars in my lifetime. Like, I think that would be so cool. Just plop somebody on Mars. Like, here you go. My husband was talking to me about all the cryptocurrency, and you know, Bitcoin's going off the charts. It's worth like, one Bitcoin is now worth like $18,000 or something. But nobody knows like how it started or where it came from. And that actually sounds a little weird to me, and I don't know. But he's like all in it right now. Not like money-wise. He's just researching it and everything. I'm going to leave that. They found a cannonball. Nuh-uh. I'm going to have to look that up. Hold on. Cannonball on Mars. Hold on. All right. I'm looking that up. No way. There's no way a cannonball could have been... So, assuming it wasn't, like, brought there by a probe or something, there is no way that a cannonball could have been shot from the Earth through the atmosphere and, like, made its way to Mars. Like, that's the physics wouldn't work. I know enough about physics to know that wouldn't work. That's crazy. I'm going to have to look that up. There are pictures. Ugh. Are you sure they're not like fakes? Because I wouldn't put it past somebody. I'll have to look it up though. That'll just tickle my husband pink just to read something like that. The Rover. Oh my goodness. No, I'm going to have to look that up. A cannonball on Mars. That's funny. Maybe Marvin the Martian is real. And he brought it there from his trip to Earth one time. Ooh, wouldn't that be crazy? If like a Martian took it back as a souvenir and then lost it. That would be hilarious. I love thinking of weird stuff like that. Because then you would just imagine this Martian going, "Where's my cannonball?" "Bob, what'd you do with my cannonball? I was going to bring that back for the kids." Yeah. Healthy imaginations, right? Yeah, I had it. I know I had it. What'd you do with it, Bob? Was it watching Mickey Mouse Clubhouse and the Martian Mickey? Bob. I like Bob. Bob's a fun name. Because every culture has a Bob, you know? I mean, everybody's got a Bob somewhere. Just that one guy that you're like, I'm trying not to cuss, but yeah, you're like, dang it, Bob. Every culture's got that. You know? And if they don't, they should. You did a Marvin the Martian for Inktober. How awesome. Awesome, awesome. A Marvin the Martian's one of my favorite. Oh, I'm sorry. I have to pop my wrists here. It's one of my favorites. But you can't show those videos. Sorry, it's looking just a little too much texture. So, I'm trying to... But you can't show those shows to the kids anymore. I tried showing Fantasia. I was like, oh, Fantasia is a beautiful movie, beautiful music. Did it hold their attention? Heck no. They're like, what is this? It's like, it's a musical. It's, animation set to classical music. Can we watch Pokemon? No, you're watching Fantasia. You're gonna like it. They kill me. Oh yeah, the innuendos. Oh my goodness. I went back and watched a little bit. So when we were kids, my mom, brother, sister, and I, we would all sit down and watch Mystery Science Theater 3000. I loved that show. It was great fun. My brother is a comedian. I mean, he just pops off with like the best jokes. And not even like intentionally doing it. Like he's just on it. And so it was really funny. But I watched it. I was like, oh my God. You mean my mom let me watch this? Like my sister could have been 10. I'm like, oh my God. She's watching this? And watching some of the old Bill Nye the Science Guy. Because my girls love him. He's their friend, Bill Nye. And some of them just like, oh, thank God they're not catching on. But I think neither did I. Oh, you did a hippo? I'll have to look for it. Is it on Instagram, Aurora? Oh, yeah. Well, there's a lot of innuendo in the Minion movies, too. The Despicable Me's and Minions. There's a ton of innuendo in those, too. Cool, I'll have to look it up. I love the elephants. Was it elephants or hippos? I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Only hippopotamus will do. So I took my girls to the movie theater. I took the little one first time to the movie theater. We had those the reclining seats, which are amazing. And we watched Despicable Me 3. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. I really like the hippo song. All I Want for Christmas is a Hippopotamus, or whatever it's called. I get my girls singing along too now. Let's see, let's actually, no, I don't think I want the 90. I'll stick with the 70. Heard a new version of Baby It's Cold Outside. Little funny. Going on the basis that Baby It's Cold Outside is sexual harassment, basically. You're not distracting me. You're fine. It's nice to have somebody to talk to instead of just talking to yourself. I need to put a piece of paper, though. Oh, not that paper. On my old color chart sheets. Nope. There we go. Because I'm starting to go off the edge here. Hey, Lane's Dream. Stalking at its finest, right? Oh, like it's one of the lines is you reserve the right to say no. I'm just like, I can't believe all the stuff going on. It's one of those, you knew it was all going on, but to have like confirmation it was all going on, it's a time. I'm trying to explain to people who have never dealt with any of it that, you know, yes, this is a thing. No, nobody, you know. I always hate the people like, oh, they're lying. Oh, probably not, actually. But, you know, thanks for playing. Anyway, I don't want to get too depressing because that stuff kind of, I have my own demons to deal with. I don't feel like dealing with it on this stream. So I'm coloring to be happy. Happy, happy. I hate coloring all the way to the edge. I'd rather just take chalk or something. That's okay. There we go. Try to stay away from too many depressing topics. Though, if you are in California, I hope you're safe. Those fires are scary. All right, so I think I'm gonna give this gray a bit of a rest and work on some of the door because I need to finish this door. Otherwise, you know, then what's the point of everything I've been doing? So burnt umber, nougat, beaster, brown ochre, and ivory. Where's my ivory? Ivory. Yeah, because if I don't finish this door, then all the beautiful work over here is all for naught, right? I've got to finish this door. Okay. I hate when there's noises and I can't tell what it is. It's not windy out, so it's not like a branch hitting. I hope it's just somebody, neighbors messing around with the chickens or something, trying to catch them in my yard. Oh, you're okay. Nope. I realize life happens. Yeah, I gotta finish this door. I know. I gotta do the door. But now I'm back to the Polychromos. And they don't go on quite like the Prismas. Tonight I should just watch some Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and color the door. I think I'm on season 2. I've seen a lot of it, but it's been a while, so I'm going back. Aww. Cars are no fun. I hate when cars break down. It's always such a pain in the bottom. Sorry, I need to contact Beaster. I need to contact the roofer and ask him to come fix the little bit of roof. They missed tarring a small spot, and of course, you know, water is finding its way in there, and so it's caused a water spot on the wall, and